Let me ask you something, and I want you to really think about it for a second. How many times have you picked up a beautiful sleeveless dress, held it up, maybe even tried it on, and then quietly put it back because of your arms? Maybe you told yourself, not this year. Maybe next year. Maybe when I lose a few pounds or tone up a little. Sound familiar? I know, because I have had that exact conversation with myself. And I spent years walking away from dresses that were absolutely made for me, all because I was waiting for arms I was never going to have. Here is what changed everything for me, and for thousands of women just like you watching this channel right now. I stopped thinking about my arms as the problem to fix, and I started thinking about my whole body as the canvas to dress. That shift alone? It opened up a wardrobe I did not even know I had. Today I am going to share 5 body tricks that will have you looking absolutely stunning in a sleeveless dress. Not someday, but the next time you get dressed. And no, none of them involve hiding your arms. They work with your body exactly as it is right now. Before we get into the list, I want to say something that I mean with my whole heart. You are not too old to wear sleeveless dresses. You are not too anything. The only thing standing between you and that dress right now is knowing how to dress your specific body in a way that makes you look pulled together, confident, and beautifully yourself. That is what this channel is all about. Timeless style. Not trends. Not impossible standards. Real practical style for real women living real lives. Number 1. The shoulder anchor. Here is the simple truth. When a woman walks into a room, the eye naturally goes to the widest point of the body. If the widest point happens to be the midsection or the hips, that is where attention lands. But if the widest point is the shoulders, something completely different happens. The eye travels upward toward your face, toward your posture, toward your presence. This is not a trick. It is geometry. And sleeveless dresses, when chosen correctly, can make your shoulders look broader than they are, which instantly makes everything below them look narrower and more proportioned. So what does this actually look like in practice? You are looking for sleeveless dresses with what stylists call architectural necklines. Think square necklines, wide scoop necks, boat necks, straight across cuts. These styles create a strong horizontal line across your shoulders, and that horizontal line visually widens and lifts the entire upper body. The opposite of this would be a very deep V-neck or a narrow halter style. Those styles pull attention down and inward, which does the exact opposite of what we want. Now here is the part that most women miss. It is not just about the neckline shape. It is also about the fabric weight at the shoulder. A dress with a slightly structured shoulder, even a soft structure, not stiff or padded like the 80s, just a little body to the fabric at the top, will hold that shoulder line steady as you move. Flowing, drapey fabrics at the shoulder tend to collapse inward and actually make the shoulders look narrower. So your first body trick is this. Anchor your look at the shoulder. Choose necklines that go wide rather than deep. Let your shoulders do the visual work, and your whole silhouette will thank you for it. Number 2. The waist whisper. As we get older, the waist naturally softens. The distinction between the waist and the hip becomes less pronounced for many women, and that is completely normal. The fashion industry, however, has spent decades telling us that if the waist is not hourglass defined, we should hide it under big flowy shapes. Cover it up. Wrap it in volume. But here is what all that volume actually does. It adds visual weight to the exact area you are trying to minimize. A big boxy dress does not hide a soft midsection. It makes it the focal point. What works instead is the waist whisper. And there are 3 ways to do it with a sleeveless dress. The first is the seam at the natural waist. Look for dresses that have a seam or a joining point at or just above the natural waist. Not at the hip. Not at the belly. Right at the narrowest point your body has, which even if it is softer than it used to be, is still narrower than your hips. That seam draws the eye and creates the illusion of definition without actually being tight. The second is the empire waist. This style sits just below the bust, which is almost always the slimmest point on a woman over 60. Everything flows from there. If you have a softer midsection or carry weight in the lower belly, an empire waist sleeveless dress is one of the most flattering things you can put on your body. The third is the wrap silhouette. Even a faux wrap, where the dress looks like a wrap, but is actually a fixed shape underneath, creates a diagonal line across the midsection that is incredibly slimming without being tight or restrictive. The key with all 3 of these is this. You are not hiding your waist. You are whispering it. You are giving the eye just enough information to read shape and proportion without calling attention to any single area. Number 3. The length that lifts. Let me ask you something. When you think about covering up, when you think about looking more put together or more modest or more appropriate for your age, what length dress do you reach for? Most women say the longer the better. Floor length, midi length, something that covers everything. And the thinking is logical. More coverage equals more confidence. Here is the thing. Length does not equal confidence. Length equals proportion. And when the proportion is wrong, even the longest dress in the world will not make you feel the way you want to feel. Here is what the length actually controls. Controls where the eye stops. It controls the perceived length of your legs. And it controls whether you look grounded and elegant or overwhelmed by your own clothing. For most women over 60, the most universally flattering dress length for a sleeveless style is just below the knee. Specifically, somewhere between 1 and 3 inches below the knee. Not at the knee, which cuts the leg at a wide point. Not at mid-calf, which cuts the leg at another wide point. Not at the ankle, which without the right shoes can make you look shorter and heavier than you are. Just below the knee. That sweet spot shows enough leg to create the illusion of length, while keeping everything proportioned and elegant. Now combine this with a pointed or slightly pointed shoe, and you are adding visual inches to your height without heels. And more perceived height means a longer, leaner silhouette from top to bottom. This is the trick that surprises women most because it often means going shorter than they are comfortable with. But comfort and flattering are not always the same thing. And once you try it, most women never go back. Number 4. The color column. Here is the simple principle. A single unbroken line of color from top to bottom makes you look taller and leaner. A color break, where the top is one color and the bottom is another, shortens the body and draws attention to wherever that break falls. With a sleeveless dress, you already have one big advantage. It is a single piece of clothing. There is no seam between a top and a bottom the way there is with separates. That means a sleeveless dress in a solid color or a cohesive print is already creating a color column for you automatically. But here is where most women make the mistake. They break that column with accessories. A brightly colored belt that is a completely different shade from the dress. A chunky contrasting bag held right at the hip. A statement piece of jewelry that draws the eye down to the chest or waist. All of these break the color column and interrupt the long vertical line that makes you look effortlessly slim. The move instead is to build accessories that extend the column rather than break it. A wrap or cardigan in the same color family as the dress. A bag that is neutral or matches the dress. Jewelry that sits close to the face and draws attention upward. And when it comes to the dress itself, here is the advanced version of this trick. Dresses with vertical seaming, even subtle tonal seaming, enhance the column effect. They create visual lines that run up and down the body instead of across it, and those vertical lines are some of the most slimming elements in fashion. One more note on color. Darker shades in the column are slightly more slimming, yes, but this does not mean you have to wear black or navy to look good in a sleeveless dress. Any deep, rich tone works. Burgundy, forest green, chocolate brown, deep teal. All of these create a strong column effect, while also giving you the color and personality that black simply cannot. Number 5. The confidence layer. And that brings us to trick number 5. The one I saved for last because in many ways it is the most important and also the most personal. I call it the confidence layer. And what I mean by that is not a physical layer of clothing, though it can involve one. What I mean is the intentional choice you make to add one element to your look that makes you feel completely, unquestionably like yourself. Here is why this matters so much for wearing sleeveless dresses specifically. The biggest reason women over 60 avoid sleeveless styles is not actually the arms. It is that bare arms can feel exposed, vulnerable, like you are presenting yourself for judgment in a way that a sleeve would protect you from. And that feeling, when it is there, comes through in how you hold yourself. You cross your arms. You pull your shoulders in. You spend the whole event or the whole afternoon thinking about your arms instead of being present in your own life. The confidence layer changes that. It gives you a way to feel covered without actually covering up what you do not want to cover. For some women, the confidence layer is a beautiful lightweight wrap or kimono jacket in a coordinating fabric. Something floaty and elegant that you can wear or let slide off a shoulder depending on how you are feeling in the moment. For some women, it is a long necklace that draws the eye away from the arms and creates a beautiful focal point at the center of the chest. For some women, it is simply a great pair of earrings that frame the face and make the whole look feel intentional and complete. For some women, it is the shoes. The right shoe can transform how you carry yourself. And how you carry yourself is the single most powerful style tool you have at 60, at 70, at 80. The confidence layer is whatever makes you stand up straighter, walk into the room first, and forget entirely that you were ever worried about your arms in the first place. Because here is the real trick. The real secret that all 5 of these points have been building toward. People do not see your arms. People see you. They see how you enter. They see how you speak. They see the light in your eyes and the ease in your shoulders, and the way you make other people feel when you walk into their orbit. The arms are a detail. You are the whole picture. Before I let you go, I want to say something directly because I think it needs to be said out loud on this channel. We have been sold a very specific idea of what arms at 60 are supposed to look like. Toned. Firm. The kind you see on women in magazine spreads who have personal trainers, lighting teams, and photo editing working in their favor. The arms you have right now, the ones that have carried groceries and held grandchildren and reached for things on high shelves and hugged people you love for 60+ years, those arms are not the problem. The problem is the story we have been told about them. The women I admire most in their 60s, 70s, and beyond, they are not dressed to hide. They are dressed to show up. There is a difference. And it is not a small one. When you dress to hide, your clothing is working against you. It is pulling attention to what you are trying to avoid. When you dress to show up, your clothing is working with you. It is expressing something true about who you are and how you want to be seen. You are 60+. You have earned every inch of yourself. Dress that way. If this video gave you even one new idea, one small shift in how you think about getting dressed, then it did exactly what I made it to do. If you are new here, welcome. This channel is entirely dedicated to helping women over 60 dress with confidence, intention, and real practical style. We talk about what actually works, not what the fashion industry thinks should work. If you enjoyed today's video, please give it a like and share it with a friend who might need to hear this. And if you have not already, subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss what we cover next. Now go find that sleeveless dress and wear it. I will see you in the next one.